We do, in fact, have a statement from the Prime Minister, from Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong on the presidential election. He's had this to say: Singaporeans have chosen Mr. Tharman Shanmugaratnam to be our next president by a decisive margin. As head of state, he will represent us at home and abroad and exercise custodial powers, including over the reserves and key appointments. I thank the three candidates for putting themselves forward in this presidential election. I'm happy that Singaporeans have been able to exercise the right to vote for our next president and to focus on what the elected president is about. In this election, both voters and candidates have shown a greater understanding of the roles and duties of the president, which bodes well for Singapore. He goes on to say that Mr. Tharman has a long and distinguished record of public service, and he has every confidence that Mr. Tharman will carry out his duties as president with distinction. Mr. Lee says he's called Mr. Tharman to congratulate him already on his election and to assure him of his government's full cooperation. Mr. Tharman, he says, has also declared his intention to work closely with the government. The statement goes on to say that as head of state, the president has to be a unifying figure that all Singaporeans can look up to and to identify with. He must exercise his custodial powers under the Constitution wisely, bringing to bear his experience and independent judgment internationally, representing Singapore. He must fly our flag high. PM Lee says he thanks the election officials for their hard work as well, and that has ensured a smooth and successful presidential election. And he finally goes on to say he wishes to thank all the voters, both here and those overseas too, for doing their civic duty. And finally, he ends the statement by saying, now that the election is over, let us come together again as Singaporeans to tackle the challenges ahead and build a stronger and more united nation. And the statement ends there.